Hello, hello everyone. This is Jen with Jen's Den Art, and I am here live from my den here in Woodworth, Louisiana. And let me see if I can see what I have going on. I am an acrylic artist, and it's been a minute since I've been here. So come on in and say hello. Tell me where you're watching from, and let's talk about what we're going to be doing. Yep, there I am. Hello, Miss Connie. How are you? Let me see if I can see my comments here. Hello, Lynn and Connie and Leanne and Patsy and Margaret, Yvonne and Carol. Thank y'all all for coming on in. Hey, Miss Phyllis from Indiana and Miss Lina from Bowling Green. Hello, Lisa. Come on in, come on in. So let's talk about what we're going to be doing today. I have a reference photo that I'm going to show you really quick. Well, actually, before we get started painting, let's talk about a couple of things that are new coming up in Jen's Den Art. I have been kind of MIA for a while from lives. We went through probably over the last 9 months. We went through moving from Montana back to Louisiana, then moving from Louisiana to another place in Louisiana, then moving from another place in Louisiana to another place in Louisiana. So it's been a very, very, just non-settling time in our lives. And so all of this extra, anything that was extra that I was doing in my business, it just all took a backseat because of all of the chaos that was happening in our lives. So now that we are pretty much settled back in Louisiana, and we are now comfortably in our home that we have decided to stay in this time, I want to start doing the lives like I was doing before. I don't know if you remember, for those of you who've been following me for a while, tell me if you've been following me for a while, and tell me if you remember when we did our New Technique Wednesdays. Okay, tell me if you've watched any of our New Technique Wednesdays. I think there's like 45 of them that we did when I lived in Montana. Every week I would come on and we would just have fun painting and learning some new techniques. Okay, and it was super fun. I really enjoyed doing it. And yes, Miss Roberts, I don't want to pronounce your name wrong. Lajana, I'm not sure how to say it. Yes, Nadine, yes, Miss Sue. Yes, Francisco says he misses the New Technique Wednesdays. So instead of just continuing the New Technique Wednesdays, I'm starting a new series called In the Den with Jen. And it's going to be very similar to what we did in the New Technique Wednesdays, but we're going to, right for now, we're going to do every first and third Wednesday of the month. Okay, so twice a month instead of every week. First and third Wednesday of the month, we're going to start there. And basically what I'm just going to show you what I have going on in the studio. What am I working on? What are we working towards in the tribe, in the private membership? How we decide on what we're going to paint? How I'm trying to expand my painting abilities by learning new techniques, and taking some time to go over some things with all of you. For all of you who love to paint and want some ideas, I thought this would be a perfect chance for us to paint and chat and ask questions and see what's been going on. So here I am for our first In the Den with Jen painting day. And I'm going to show you what I am working on. So I just wanted to give you that little background information. So, yay, love it. Sounds good. I watched all the New Technique Wednesdays. If you missed the New Technique Wednesdays, if you go to my, let me type it in right now. I have a free Facebook group called, oh goodness, let me see if I can, let's see, facebook.com/groups/ I think it's called Jen's Den Art Fun. I'm not sure if that's what it's called. I'm not sure, but I have a free Facebook group for acrylic painters. And we have like almost 10,000 people in that group, and we get to share all of our work. Anything that we're working on in Jen's Den, whether you're a member or not, it doesn't matter. It's just a way for us to collaborate and share all of our acrylic painting work that we do. So yeah, you can share anything that you're working on in that group, and you can ask questions and just have a lot of fun. So that group continues to grow. We're having a lot of fun in there. So you can always be a part of that group. If you go in that group under guides, I think I have a guides in there. There is a guide that says New Technique Wednesdays, and there's like 40 something free videos in there where you can have a blast. Like some of the things we did, which we're going to be doing some more of, is like things like this. Like we focused on finding a focal point and learning how to use different colors to find that focal point. We did abstract stuff. We used molding paste. We used salt. We used, I don't know, we just used a lot of things, but it all involved some form of acrylic painting. And so we're going to continue to do that. And it's just going to be a new series here in 2023, the new me in 2023. And one of the things I'm working on that I actually started working on this like about 6 months ago. And because of all the chaos in our lives and the moving and the rearranging and all of that kind of stuff, I put it aside. But it is I'm going to show you the photo. It is something that I want to paint again. And right now in my life, the inspirations that I am very attracted to right now are all of the country living styles. Okay. The chickens, the barns, the old houses, the Western style, all of those country themes. I'm really, really big on that country theme right now. And I feel like that's a lot of my passion is that country theme. So one of the things that I found one day when I'm going to show you right now, when I was driving, this is not the best picture. It's a little blurry. When I was driving around in Louisiana in a little town called Grand Couteau, they had this barn and it was way far from the road. So I took a picture of it, and this is the picture. This is actually, you can find this picture on the internet as well, but it's almost the same exact picture that I took of the barn. And so that's what I've been working on. And I have not finished it, and I want to work on it today with y'all. So let me hide this. So I'm going to hide my face, and I'm going to show y'all what I've done so far. Okay. So this is a pretty large piece. I would say it's probably 24 inches wide. And I'm going to show you what I bought that I'm working on. It is a wood. Look, I still have the tag on it. It is a light washed wood sign. Here we go. Here's the dimensions. It's 29 by 1 by 17. So I bought it at Hobby Lobby, and it says it was $27.99, which I guarantee you I bought it when it was 40% off. So I got this piece of wood at Hobby Lobby. And you know how they have like, sometimes they have like their wood on sale for 40% off. So I started working on this a long time ago. I'm trying to put it back in the screen where y'all can see it. Okay, so that's pretty close. And then what I did was I took some painter's tape and I taped all the way around because it's sunken in the middle. So for those of you who resin, this would be a perfect kind of piece to use. And sometimes I resin, I am expanding my horizon. Thank you, Miss Leanne. Sometimes I resin and sometimes I don't, but this would be a really cool piece if you do resin your pieces. This would be a really cool piece because you have that little sunken in area and the resin wouldn't drip off the sides. So just a thought if you wanted to do that. So I started painting this and it's really in the middle of needing a lot of work. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on this today. One of the things I'm looking at when I look at the reference photo, one of the things I'm looking at is the shading. A lot of you ask to learn a little bit more about shading. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pull up that photo again, and I haven't put any of the windows in yet. I'm looking at where I am because it's been a really long time since I worked on this. But I'm going to show you again in the video on the screen. I'm going to show you again what I'm talking about. Let's look at that photo again. Let me pull it back up. Okay, so I want you to look at the different shades that you will see. You can pretty much tell where the sun's coming from, okay? Because you can very well notice it looks like maybe it's an afternoon sun or maybe a morning sun. The sun is coming from the left side, and the left side of the barn is very bright, okay? You can see like all of this is a lot lighter. These things, of course, I forgot what they're called, but the silos, I guess you would call them. You can see that the left side of the silo is really, really bright, and the right side is grayed out, and not necessarily gray. It's almost like a blue. Y'all can see that, or like you can use gray if you want. And then all of this is in the shade back here. So I want to go ahead and show you how I would attack that and make this look like. I want to kind of make it really have that glowing effect, okay? That tone that shows that it's really, maybe like the sun's going down in the evening or something like that. So that's one of the things that I want to work on today, and I want to talk to you all about and how I would make that happen. So this is just kind of like the background area of what I'm working on. And then I'm going to start. This is my paint palette. I know it's crazy. It's I use whatever I have around. It's a piece of canvas board, and I wrapped it with my paper that I use for painting. So I'm going to start with some white. Okay, I'm going to put some white on my canvas. All right, or on my paint palette that I have here. Okay, and that's just titanium, not titanium. It is titanium white. And I'm going to add a little bit of buff white. Okay, just in case I feel like I need it. I want some blue. I want some blue because I like that shade. I like that blue shade. I need some black, just a little bit of black, not much. Oops, well, there we go. I'll show you how I don't know how to use black very sparingly, right? Okay, let's start with that. Let's see where we're going to go. All right. Let me get my reference photo up here so I can see it on a regular basis. Okay, so the first thing I'm looking at is I'm going to start with my windows. Let's go ahead and put all of our windows in, and then we can start our shading. And I have learned something about my style of painting over the last few weeks. I have started taking my time more in my painting process. And the more you take your time, I'm just going to make this, the more your painting is a little tighter. Okay, so if you paint slow, then you're going to have more of that realism show up in your paintings. If you paint fast and you just kind of, add things really fast, then you're going to have more of that really loose style. And lately, I don't know if it's just my mood or what it is, but I've been finding that I'm enjoying painting slower lately. So my style gets reflected in it because I end up adding a little more detail when I paint slow. Okay, and right now I'm just using white. I'm just kind of drawing out the little. Let me see if I have some chats going on here. Can't pull up my chats for some reason. Okay, now I have a big door right here. But then I also have some little windows. So I'm just going to make, this is like a double window right here. And then I'm also going to have one over here. Try to see if it's about the same height. Nope, I'm a little bit lower. So let's go a little bit higher. I'm going to have to fix this because they're not even the same size. You see how I made that one a lot smaller? Let's see, I'm going to make this one a little bigger. The yellow that I used, if I remember correctly, it's probably, it's this color. It's Naples yellow. Naples yellow. So I'm going to come back and use some of that to fix all of that up. All right, let's see what else we have. We have a few windows over here that you can barely see. So I'm going to put these in. This is just a rough sketch, y'all. I'm not really doing anything perfect yet. But I really want to finish this today because I think it's a beautiful piece and it would be something that I would put in my house, All right. I have kind of like a very country themed house here. So I think this would fit really well. Let's go with a flat. Oh, here's a better flat. I like this one better. All right, let's go with a flat. And I'm going to start doing some stuff with this flat brush. And this is what I'm thinking. I don't really have a pattern. I'm just looking at things that I feel like working on at the moment, and I'm just working on them. So this right here needs to be a lot brighter. So I'm coming with this flat and I'm just kind of making almost like some little commas with just that. Since I'm in the titanium white, I might as well keep on using that white. while I'm fresh in it. And I'm going to start making this side right here be much brighter. And then on this side, I'm going to do the same thing. Okay. I am using professional grade paints, which makes it, makes my paint and my opacity of the titanium white and all the other colors, it just makes it more vibrant and easier to fill. So let me come in here. I don't like this green. I think I'm going to change that some as well. But there's a start. I'm going to put some burnt umber on here too, because I'm looking at, let me show you the reference photo again so you can see where I'm coming from. I'm looking at the, silos, and the picture, the reference photo has these very, very bright, and right now mine are really dark. So I'm going to take some of this burnt umber and I'm going to mix it with some white. Let me take the reference photo off. I'm going to mix it with some white, and I'm going to make it, and a little bit of this buff white. I'm going to make it have a really pretty brown color. And I'm going to go, I have to keep on pulling back up my reference photo so I can see it. Almost looks like it's yellow. There we go. That's a much prettier color. Let me get some of that in there. I'm just using my finger. Almost like dry brushing. So what I love about painting slow, it's really it's really soothing. Just depends on your mood, you know. I have a lot of different moods. Y'all probably figured that out by now. I want this to be a little more fat at the top. And my painting style, I mentioned the other day that I was trying to find my painting style. But you know what? My painting style varies depending on my mood. So, yeah, I want this to be fatter so that it looks like it's more of a silo looking. And lately my mood's been slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race, right? So, what about y'all? Do you like to paint fast or do you like to paint slow? I'd love to know what y'all think, because it really does make a difference in your final piece. Trying to pull up the live here. Trying to see your comments. There we go. Yeah, I do normally paint loosey-goosey, Francisco. I do. But every once in a while, I catch myself going for a little more detail. Now, I don't know if y'all follow Chuck Black. I'm not a Chuck Black. I don't paint the details like he does. He paints like really, really detailed. But it's fun to just try different things. I like that gray underneath too, right here. But I do want maybe even a little bit of yellow. Let's do that. Let's get just a teeny bit of yellow. The same yellow that's the color of the Born. And I'm going to mix some of that yellow and white. And I'm going to come in here. That's a little much. Let's take a little bit of that off. It's really fun to paint on wood too. Wood is my favorite to paint on. And this is wood, so this is a lot of fun to paint on. Yes, Miss Kathy. You get lost in painting the details. Hi, Miss Kathy. Yes, you'll be able to watch this. It's not a full painting. It's just some details. I'm working on shading. In just a minute, I'm going to start working on shading. I'm just getting a few more. Then you make a straight line here. I have no straight line. There we go. I need to get a little more definition. Right there. Okay, so you can already see, I hope you can see what I'm seeing. Can you see how it's looking like it's really bright right here on the left? We're getting a really bright look, like the sun's shining, because we're just going a lot brighter right there. Okay, look at that detail already. I can already see it looks like the sun is shining through right there. Okay, so another thing we're going to work on, that's the silo. Okay, another thing we're going to work on is I'm going to go back to the Born right here, and I'm going to start putting in those shadows. Okay, you can see the shadow. Let me show you again on the reference. I love using references. Look at the Born and look at the colors. Look right. I wish I could point on my screen, but I can't. Look right at the top of the Born, and look. Notice at the left you can see a shadow, but on the right there's no shadow. And look at the windows. On the left of the window there is a shadow, but on the right of the window there is no shadow. Okay, so we're going to put some details in there. and we're going to make this work for us. We're going to take some black and white, and we're going to make a really light gray with the same paintbrush. I haven't changed the paintbrush. I'm going to add just a tip of blue in it because I like that little blue accent. Okay. And hello, Miss April. I'm looking at your, yes, Miss Marianne, I love the Olborns. I have a feeling over the next few months we'll be painting a lot of country scenes. I'm really in that mood right now. The chickens and the cows and the barns and all those farmhouse style paintings, you know. We are definitely going to be doing that over the next few months. So get ready, tribe sisters. We are going to be having some fun. Okay, this side, it's just kind of like a grayish blue. This is what I'm going for here. Just a grayish blue. Okay, maybe a little more gray than blue. It's a little dark. So you notice I take my paintbrush and I rub it. That just helps me get some of the paint off because I feel like I have too much paint on my brush. Okay, right up in here. We're going to add some gray right on the edge. All right. Just a little bit right here. It's not going to be exactly like the photo. You know, we don't always do exactly like the photo, but we do like to have a reference to look at what we're doing. All right, let's add some blues right on the edge of the silo. Right. I mean, it's almost like a line. You can see it's almost like a line right here. And I'm hardly pressing. So we're working on our shading. It's basically, whenever you do shading, it's not about anything but the type of color you use. Okay, it's just the color. You have to find the right color. And it's still just painting, but it's painting with the right tone to make it look like it's got that that shading happening. Okay, we're going to do that on this side too. And a bit more of the blue. I really like that blue. And a little bit more. It's just I think I'm using cobalt blue. Let me double check. Yeah, it's cobalt. Cobalt's one of my go-to blues. I really like it a lot. Now, it might be playing with your eyes, this blue tape, because you can see that blue as well, and it kind of throws you off. All those colors. I need to wet my brush. and get it a little more moist to move around. And I want to spread this out just a little bit more. Okay. Now we have to go really dark. I'm going to go even darker. Some more of this blue gray. But I'm going to come over here. Now I'm adding in my shadows on this end. It's not going to be perfect, but you can see it now. And in order to make the contrast even more vivid, I'm going to use some white and I'm going to bring this even lighter. White and black is what I should have said. Let's go with a teeny bit of brown in there. There we go. All right, and then we even have to go down here. We need to make this area right here has to be darker. But we want a little bit of that yellow to come through because it is a yellow born, but this is just the shading. I'm gonna make these dark. Oh, that's way dark. I didn't mean to go that dark. Actually, it looks kind of good. The dark really helps. So I'm going to go really dark here. Right on the edge. A little bit darker right up in here. So we're working dark light is basically what we're doing. See those colors? The darker you make this, the more you're going to see that contrast. Look at that. How awesome is that? I love it. Okay, let's do some darkness here. Not quite as dark as that, but this is like the opening to the barn. And it's just a big door, or not even a door, just a big opening. So I love the shading, the way it's coming together. Let's go a little bit more contrast here. So I'm going to add just a little bit of darker colors, just a teeny bit. Okay, so what's going to help this is I'm going to add some white right, oops, too much. This is where I get messy, right on the edge here. And then right here. See how it's all starting to pop? Okay, let's go a little brighter, yellow and white. I'm going to go to the brights now again. I'm basically going back and forth. Dark light, dark light, dark light. And I'm just trying to make that contrast of the dark to the light, the dark to the light as good as I can. So I just have to keep on going back and forth until I find the right combination on all of the barn pieces. So now I'm adding a little bit of lightness on the right side of the windows. And that's going to add even more contrast from the dark to the light. And these windows are not supposed to be yellow, so I'm trying to hide that. Got a little bit of brightness right around the door or the opening. I go a little bit lighter in here. I don't want to have any darkness right in here. I want to have it bright, bright. So you can really see how the sun looks like it's coming in. Let's even make this brighter. Let's make this side even brighter. And lighten it just a little bit more. A little bit brighter. Even here, right on the edge. Make the shadows come in that way. And even right here, I need a little bit more yellow. This area, yellow and white, right up in here. Okay. I'm going to stop with that for a minute. I think we're on to something. Not exactly finished with that, but I'm going to go back here in the trees and I'm going to add some lightness in there as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some brighter green, like a really, really lime green, and I'm just going to take a round brush. Something kind of big, actually. Let's see. Okay, this is a pretty decent round brush here. It's kind of big, and I'm going to use this really bright lime green. Okay, I'm going to calm it down just a teeny bit with a little bit of yellow. And I'm using the same yellow that's in the barn, so it'll do well. Okay, that's pretty bright. I don't know. Let's see if this will work. And I'm going to decide on like where my trees are. Like, okay, this is a tree, and the left side of that tree is going to have more highlights. And then I'm just kind of deciding where the tree stops and starts, basically. And that's where I'm adding my lighter, brighter colors. I'm trying to stay to the left. My vision of a tree is right here, and the left side of the tree is going to have brighter colors. So this is a tree right here. You don't need much paint at all to do this. Right here. And then if you don't feel like you're getting the contrast that you need, which I just messed up, I put black all over my paintbrush. So let me clean that off. If you don't feel like you're getting the contrast that you need, then you need to work on your contrast. Basically, you need to work on your lights to darks. So you're going to make sure that, like right here, I just messed up. Okay, I'm going to do this. I didn't really mess up, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix it. This tree up here is going to have some brighter colors on the left. We're also going to, these are supposed to be oak trees, but they don't look anything like oak trees, do they? That's okay. All right, then I'm going to take some black, and I'm going to put some of that in my green. And then I'm going to come back and make those darkers darker. And then you'll be able to see more of what I'm trying to produce here. So dark, light, dark, light, dark, light. That's what we're going for. Let's get some of those darker colors in there. Right on the edge, like kind of right on the right side of the lighter colors. Right in there. You can see how they're coming alive. Can you see that? I'll check comments in just a minute. I get kind of carried away on my paintings, and I don't look at comments that often. That's why most of the time I have Michael with me. Okay, if you want, you can make it even darker in some areas. I'm going with almost solid black. Just a few little. And look what that does. Look how that just makes the painting come out at you. Isn't that beautiful? It's just a matter of just plopping paint in the right places to get that color contrast that you're trying to get. And then you can just see how it all starts. It's so much fun to paint and see that happen while you're in the middle of a painting. It's just really fun. Right? Are y'all having as much fun as I am? Yes, exactly. No more flat trees. This is a barn, right? This is a barn. I stopped for a sec to read y'all comments. This is a barn in Grand Couteau, Louisiana. Couteau is Couteau, if you looked it up. Okay, it's I think it's a Jesuit barn. I think that's what they call it, the Jesuit barn. It's a big dairy barn out there. I don't think it's actually like in operation. It kind of looks like it's abandoned when I passed by it, but it's just beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going with an even brighter green and mix a lot of white in it, and I'm just coming in here. So you see how those dark lights, look at that. Look at what it's doing. I'm just loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And I know that this is one of the areas that a lot of y'all have trouble with, is getting the shading right. It's basically just making sure you choose the right tones. The right tones. I'm just going back over this lime green and I'm making it even brighter. Now look at that. I'm loving it. Oh, all this beautiful shading. Okay, I feel like I need to, I just took a step back and I looked at it and I feel like I need to make this right here just a little bit darker. So let's see what that does. I have a lot of water on my paintbrush. Let me take some off. Just a little bit darker. What do y'all think? I want to do something with this ground too. I don't like it. So we're going to have fun with that. And I'm going to go a little bit darker here as well. So I am in the process, by the way, for those of y'all who like to do my pop-up paint parties, I'm in the process of deciding, maybe y'all can help me decide, what is our next pop-up paint party going to be? Now remember, I'm in the country theme mood. Anything country. Anything outdoors, outdoorsy. Okay, that's coming together really, really, really good. I like it. Let's go with a little bit more blue. Let's see what that'll do. If it doesn't work, we can always paint over it, right? I'm going to dry brush a little bit more blue in here. It's really hard to tell because of the blue tape around it. So I think I'm going to remove it in just a minute. Let's start removing the top part because I'm done with the top. Oh, you know what? Because this tape has been on here for so long, it is not easy to remove. It's dried onto the... So I'm going to take my scissors and cut it away. Here we go. Now let's take that off. And then that will make it look a lot better too. What are we gonna do with our ground? Let's see what we're gonna do. And I need to fix my tree too. My tree needs some my bark on my tree needs to have that dark light contrast as well. Coming along nicely, my friends. I'm not going to remove this one yet because I'm still not done down here. So I really like the way it's going. I'm excited about it. And I'm so excited that I decided to share this with y'all because I've been putting this painting off forever. A little dirt lane up to the door. Or that would be, oh, that's a great idea. Let's see. I'm going to go back to a large flat, like something like this. Okay, and I want the reference photo. Let's go ahead and look at the reference photo again. The reference photo has, it must have been like fall time when this was taken. It has a lot of the, the reds and stuff. So maybe I can kind of do a little bit of that because this is a little bit too green for me. Depends on what time of the year it was, So I'm just gonna, let's do some burnt umber. Not burnt umber, burnt sienna. Yeah, burnt sienna. Get a little bit of that redness in there. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just going to play around with it, and I'm going to talk you through my thought process as we go. All right. I don't want to mess with the color scheme already, so I'm going to be really careful. Let me put a little bit of this bright on this side of the tree. All right, let's see what this is gonna do. We can make it look a little different. We can do like a big dirt, maybe some dirt right there. So I'm using burnt sienna and burnt umber and white and the yellow that I have here. And I'm just kind of mixing all of those together. That's too white. I want a little bit more of a brownish. I really don't want to do much because I don't want to take away from that. So I'm gonna kind of hide some of this bright green down here. Maybe a little bit of gray, brownish grayish. I like that. It's very subtle. It's not a lot of just trying to mix some more on my palette here. I love mixing colors. Can you tell? Not even sure what color it is, but so the colors that I'm using is I'm pulling in. I don't want to pull in too much of the this burnt sienna because I didn't use it anywhere else in the painting. But if I want to use that burnt sienna a little bit more, I'm going to pull just a little bit of it up here. So I don't want it to be too like stand on its own type color. I want it to have a little bit. Okay, so that's better. I've got a little bit of that burnt sienna up there. Can put a little bit right here as well. All right, that's gonna tie it in a little bit better with those the colors I'm using right now down here. Let's get rid of some of this green. Just a teeny bit of the green down here, that brighter green. That's way too bright. Hang on, let me get rid of that. I don't like it. Turned out to be an ugly color. Okay, that's much more subtle. I'm going to go a little bit lighter. And the reason why I think I need to go a little bit lighter is because when I'm looking at the painting, I feel like it's there's a beautiful lightness up here, like the bright colors up here, and there's really beautiful bright colors here, and then boom, there's no bright colors at all. So I just want to add a little bit of those lighter colors just to kind of make the painting have a good eye flow, like your eyes move easily. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. What do y'all think? Just, that bright sun is shining on the land. And so I want it to look like there are some bright areas. Right there. I'm going to stand up for just a minute so I can get my paintbrush to do what I want it to do. Okay, that's more what I want. What y'all think? I'm thinking it's coming along pretty decent. Make that sun look like it's shining on right there. And some of this. A little bit more of that green. Right up in here. All right, let's take this off and let's look at it again. And then I'll check your comments and see if y'all have any questions. And I think I'm going to call this one done. What do y'all think? Something I could do. Let me bring it to a bigger screen. So I'm going to bring me out. Okay, so let's look at it from far away, and then I'll look at your comments in a second. So something I could do. Oh, look how pretty. Is maybe the frame, like this is basically considered, it's already framed. So this is basically considered the frame. Maybe the frame needs to be a little darker to kind of give it a little bit more of a contrast. Maybe I could draw brush the frame just a little bit and make it a darker brown or a black. I don't know. I'm going to think about that. What do y'all think? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's a super fun painting. It's all about those country scenes. I just love painting those old country scenes. So let me see what y'all have to say about. Yes, so you think maybe a darker framing. That's kind of what I'm thinking too. I don't want to hide the wood. I don't want to hide the wood look of it because the wood is really, let me show it to y'all again. The wood is really beautiful, you know? But I think maybe adding just a little bit of a darker, maybe I could stain it. Maybe I could stain it. I'm going to play around with it and see, but it is a really, really fun painting to do. So love it. Darker brown, darker frame idea. Yes, I definitely agree. Going to go to Hobby Lobby and look for that frame. It is perfect. It is. It's a lot of fun. Darker frame. A walnut color. That's exactly what I was thinking, Connie. A walnut color. Yes, yes. Yeah, the wood frame really does do it. I definitely want to keep the wood frame. So again, like I told y'all earlier, this is one of those wooden frame pieces. It was normally $27.99 at Hobby Lobby, but I'm sure I bought it. Let me show you the little tag. I'm sure I bought it for the 40% off. You know, when they have that, it's called Light Washed Wood Sign. It's 29 by 1 by 17. So it's pretty big. And it's just a little Hobby Lobby. And it already has the hangers on the back of it. So yeah. All right, guys, that is our first In the Den with Jen. That's what I'm working on. Well, that's what I'm done working on today. And then in a couple of Wednesdays, I'll be back and we'll work on something else. Y'all let me know what you'd like to work on. And I'd love to show you some of my tips and tricks on painting with acrylics. Okay, guys. Tribe Sisters, I will see y'all tonight in the tribe so we can finish up our old our old truck and our barn that we're working on in there. So I will see you all later. Y'all have a blessed day. Thanks for being here. Bye bye.